Hey guys, what's up? Alright, so we're back, and this time we're gonna do some CSS and some Sass. So I'm in the project. I already did. I had to re-download the repo, so I have to break DB migrate. I already did it though, so I'm good on that side. I just want to let you know. So I'm gonna go ahead CD into the front, right? All right, so we're in. And we're gonna run our live server because we want our our little images to show up. So we got one person right here, which is Peter Parker. Cool. And we have no projects right now, so we're gonna go ahead and add a project for Peter Parker. And it's gonna cost us $0. It's gonna be him by himself, saving New York City, whatever. Okay, so we wanna give this single page application some sass, I guess you can say. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. So first thing we gotta do, obviously, is well, it's not so obvious actually. With a different terminal. So first thing we're gonna do is a package, a JSON package, and let's do that. Npm init. Sure, you can call it that. Version 1, description, it's a demo. Yeah, index, sure. I, where, yeah, it's fine. So you have to do it in the root of the repository, this, uh, this JSON package. Keywords none, but whatever. A license, yeah, sure. Everything's fine. Cool. So we have our package JSON here, everything. But in order to use Sass, we need a script. And thankfully, the script that I got over here with me working, I actually got it. Thank you to Jonas Schmetman, if I'm not butchering that. He's the man. He does some really advanced courses on Sass. So if you want to get better and all that, honestly, I recommend going and checking out his course. But right now, I'm just gonna show you really quick the script and how to just get like a single page application up and running. Yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna need a script and I'm gonna need some dependencies, right? So I got a few scripts here, and I'm just gonna borrow them obviously, and I'm not really gonna talk too much about the whole script. I'm just gonna like do a quick overview. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a link to Schmetman, to his website, so you can actually learn a lot more. I just kind of want to show you a real quick overview, because the NPM stuff, like he's really good explaining it. Anyways, let's move on. So we're gonna be watching our Sass, and we got a live server. Remember how I was running it over here? Yeah, on my second terminal. Yeah, it's being a little weird right now. It's not showing up, but it's here. It's running. That's why you see this. See, we got a live server going on. Cool. Where was I? Uh, yeah, cool. Okay. So, yeah, this is essentially the. So we got the live server, and over here we got another package to run these two at the same time. And afterwards, we're gonna compile and we're gonna build our CSS. Like I said, I'm not gonna explain this. Schmetman does a way better job explaining it than I ever will. So yeah. So right now, we gotta go ahead and npm start, because we're gonna have to use these packages. Alright, so I'm gonna have to create these files though. So I should have I should have done that first before. Actually, not. We can still install the dependencies, and these are just the scripts that we're gonna run. So we're gonna go ahead and create the two folders that I need right now. So CSS, and we gotta do another one for Sass. So and our Sass. Oh, what happened there? New folder. Cool. So inside Sass, we gotta build a main new file. So main.scss, and inside CSS, we're gonna do a style. Style.css. Cool. All right, perfect. So a few things, a few little mistakes that I did beforehand was essentially in the source folder contractor, and I'm gonna close. We're gonna go ahead and close these, and then projects. So remember, I was telling you we gotta follow the BEM block element modifier structure for HTML, so we can access it through CSS and modifier, right? So yeah, there was like a few little parts, like for example, here class project link. Like I could have given it more specific names, block element modifier, but I didn't, right? The button right here, we're gonna end up getting rid of this, all these buttons, because we're not gonna need it. We got a BM right here for the SVGs. We can use the SVGs, scalable vector graphs, as like anchors and buttons. We can give it that on click ability, so we will be able to grab this stuff right here, and we'll be able to cut it and just paste it right here, and essentially we'll be using the SVG to do the things that we want the button to do, right? But there's that's not the only one. We're gonna go ahead and change up also the H3, the paragraphs we're gonna leave. We're gonna change up a little bit the buttons. We're gonna give it more of a BEM structure, so we're gonna end up changing this query selector, the button itself. So yeah, it's just mostly on the HTML. Everything's working fine. So we're gonna have to do it for both contractor and project. And I know it's a little tedious, but honestly, it's gonna make the whole world of a difference when we actually start. One second, I gotta check something. When we start doing our CSS and HTML, accessing the HTML through CSS. Okay, good. So really quick, let's see. So like I said before, I'm not gonna write the whole thing because it would make the video a little way too longer, and I'm not trying to do that right now. I'm not trying to bore you. I just kind of want to show really quick how would it be to get all this stuff done. So 1 second. Okay, cool. So right here, I got what we need. For example, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and just paste what I need. But look, I want you to look at the difference. All right, so look, there's no buttons anymore. So if you want to take a pause and compare the difference with the code you got and what we got now, I cleaned it up a little bit, and there's more specification on the items and that we're gonna be accessing. For example, the anchor, right? We give it a bit of a more specific modifier, block element modifier. Remember, BEM. So going to be able to access the anchor through content.item. And then if we want to be specific about that anchor, we got the user profile. if and or anything, right? So yeah. So honestly, we're gonna be doing this for literally every part because well, yeah, that was a little bit of my mistake. Um, so we're gonna go ahead. Oh, there's something going on over here. What happened? Hold on. Stay right there. We're going. Yeah. So this function, I'm just gonna go ahead and we just do the whole thing. Yeah, bit of a clearer form, right? So yeah, so we're literally gonna do that for every single function. Clean it up, give it some um, better structure. So if you want to go ahead and pause along and see the difference and or type it in yourself, you're more than welcome to. Obviously, it's going to take you some time, so that's what I was trying to avoid. But go ahead and be my guest. So function of new contractors, same thing. We clean it up a little bit. Yeah, let's see what we get. New contractor. Boom. So I gave the form a class. I call the content form and then the input because we're already accessing the contents form because we set it up in the index HTML. So yeah, so we're just giving it a better name. Um, yeah, let's go ahead into the next create contractor. This one's a little bit of a long one, but same thing. We just gotta make it look neat, and it kind of does clean up a little bit too when we give it a specific um, element to grab. 'Cause, yeah, I ended up just decluttering accidentally while I was trying to access the elements on via HTML. So we got a new one. We got add a contractor. Let's go ahead and do that too. Add a contractor. Literally every single function because we are essentially hard coding. We're not hard coding the HTML, but we're injecting it into uh, through JavaScript. Injecting HTML through JavaScript. Update contractor, also same thing. Update contractor. See, watch the buttons are gonna be gone too. So the main difference is just here in the inner HTML. And up here too, the form. It's just the HTML. That's what changes. Everything, the whole structure, the fetching to the API stays the same. It's just purely HTML. Um, I got something strange going on right now. Very strange. All right, so we got our delete function does not change. Um, yeah. So although I changed the HTML, I changed it in a manner that it would not affect the buttons and their what they have to do, their functionality. So function of create my bad contractors projects, same we changed it to. You're gonna see a difference right now. So as you can see, Only the HTML changed, but actually I lied. HTML and the way we select the query. So yeah, that this is the difference. So remember the buttons. You have to be able to select that specific element, and the way we access that element is through the specificity. I can't even say the word. But yeah, so now we have a more specific manner of grabbing that HTML element thanks to BEM. And that's perfect. That's essentially what we want. So now when we want to access the project link, I said the anchor, yeah, right here, dot what class, the dots for the class. And I'm gonna pick this class because I put two classes because um, I don't want to get too specific at times. So I have a higher level, and then this is just the element, and then I'm gonna go ahead and have a modifier right here. This block element, block element modifier, like that. Cool. So same thing. Now we gotta do that for a project. So don't forget the buttons. You just gotta change the selector. So 1 second. Over here, I got information. So same thing. Function, all projects. All right, let's go ahead. Function of all projects. There we go. Same thing. Literally. HTML and the query selector. That's all that's changed. So I'm gonna put it right here. You can check it out. And then I'm gonna go ahead just close it. Minimize it. So you can have some breathing. And now we're gonna go ahead um, with a show project. Show project. The before, after. Before, after. The heading changed, and that's about it. Um, so new project also. Same thing. It's form. Uh, I just want to be able to access every element of the form more in a specific manner. So once again, BEM to the rescue. Um, although I was thinking of BEM and React, it's not something. Um, well, I'm not gonna go there because I'm not doing React. But although it works here, just be careful because there's obviously more ways of doing things. So this is just one way. So we're gonna go ahead, move on, and this time we're gonna do create project. So before, and then we got after. Boom. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. We're gonna do edit. Same thing. Accessibility of the function of the HTML inside the function. And keep JavaScript BEM. All right. So before, and after. See, there's more uniformity within the way that I'm calling my elements. So the form itself is calling to form input because that's a way to talk to the entire form, right? So, and there we go. Now we got the label, and I'm gonna give it specific modifier already in here. Content form label. content form field. The field is when you actually put the information. This is for edit, so we already got some placeholders. It's not placeholder, I mean it is, but it's just the actual information that you previously had. And if you don't change it, it stays. And remember the buttons down here, the way you access every part of the HTML. Yeah, that too. You're going to be able to select that input that's specific, edit this project, which is, where is it? Submit. It's a button inside the form, and the buttons inside the form with the modifier of edit this project. And or if we needed to do anything to that button, we have it there. Might not, because we just might access just the buttons form. We might not even need to get specific into that button. And that's a cool thing, though. We can actually access specific parts of an element. Well, we can access a specific element of an element. So we're gonna go ahead and do the update. It's the same thing, just HTML, the anchors, and BEM. That's it. That's all we're doing right now. And delete. Well, delete stays the same. Yeah, because the only difference is the classes that we changed. So yeah, the data is still being the same. It's yeah. So we're good in that. We're good. So now, let's go check it out and see how it looks. Let's see if there's a difference. Cool. See, so I took out the buttons. Remember, I kept mentioning that I'm going to take out the buttons. So these are the SVGs without a button in the background. So we can actually edit these elements a lot more easily, and we're not going to have to be dealing with a button specifically. So okay, cool. And let's go ahead and minimize that. Okay, awesome. So right now, we got the live server running, and we installed the script. Did we install a script? Let's see. Yeah. Everything seems to be running fine. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let's look at the package one more time. I'm gonna run this script. I'm gonna say npm run start. Um, so at this point, it's gonna run the live server. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this live server over here. So I'm gonna go ahead over here, run npm start, and let's see what happens. Cool. Yeah. So I know this looks weird. It really does. But remember that our front end is not in our root directory. So we have to access. If we had an index HTML over here in the root directory, then it'd be a different story. Let's see what happened though. What did it say? Um, I just actually want to see what's going on. We have our folder. Oh, that's a problem. I call it Manny. It's supposed to be main. You saw that and you didn't even tell me. I see how it is. So yeah, see the point. The index HTML is inside the front end, and that's a little. It's not a problem. It's really not, but it is what it is. Cool. So it's actually running. So if you want, for now, work with the script. It's gonna be very very beneficial, honestly. But yeah, we're not going to talk about the script. We're going to be talking about Sass. So we know in over here that we have some elements in our body. We got a header. This title, I'm gonna put it inside the header. I don't see the point why it should be outside. It was silly of me to do that. So we're gonna go ahead. It even says header. So I'm gonna put it inside the block of header title inside header, and it gets saved. And it automatically loads up the change. So live server. Oh wait, no, here we go. Header, and it's inside there. All right. So um, let's continue. So, like I said, we have a few elements over here on the HTML, and we're gonna be doing a Sass. Well, it's not Sass. It's SCSS. So, but I'm just gonna say Sass for the situation. So we're gonna create a few Sass files. We're gonna create one for a header, content, and inside content we're gonna be doing form and main, and we're gonna do buttons for the forms, and we're gonna be doing a file for typography, which is the title and the headers, with H3s, H1, H2, and 3, those typography, and a footer. So let's go ahead and build that. All right, so we got inside main. We got nothing so far, and yeah. Okay. So we're gonna need a file. We got a header. We're gonna do partials. Header. What other file? Footer. CSS. Content. SCSS. What else do we need? Buttons. SCSS. What else? Buttons. Typography. Oh no. Yeah. Typo. Continue type. CSS. Typography. Got it. All right. Cool. I feel like I might be missing one. Um, am I missing one? Let me see. Typography header. Oh wait, typography is actually not even partial now at this point. Okay, so typography header, footer, content, button, base. We're gonna need a base. Base that SCSS. Okay, cool. SCSS. All right, cool. So inside, how many files we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And import. Boom, boom. All right, so we're gonna have to do 5 imports, and you guessed it. It is the files that we just created. That's 5. Cool. What happened there? It says import. All right. Whoops. Uh, yeah, I messed up. All right. Well, what in Hollywood is going on? Oh, you know what? I was actually right. All right. So which one we got? We got base. What else we got? We got buttons. We got content. We got footer. We got header. Wait a sec. It's 6. I can't even count. Wow. I just realized I can't count. I'm dumb. Typography. Okay, cool. I can't even spell either. Cool. Typography. Typography. But it's saying that it's there. It's not there. That's weird. Okay. There we go. Took it a second. Once you see the line show up in the bottom, it means that it actually read it, and that file it's actually being imported. So that's great stuff. So I saved it. Okay. So now we're gonna be working with actually the base, and at this point, I'm gonna be picking my colors and all that. So like I said, I already have it all done and set up. So I'm not gonna be writing the entire of CSS. We're gonna go over it. I will explain every bit of it though. Okay. So first off, I need before I even start doing my things. I gotta set up my index HTML. So where's my index? Right here. So let me go ahead and just close all this stuff because in honesty right now I don't need it. There it is. Base is the only one I'm gonna keep open. And I want you guys to check out we're gonna select the whole document, right? So you see border colors. Um, these colors are auto generated. The white color, like for example, if I turn this off, ah, I just sneezed. Got goosebumps. So if you look at the container, it's got this is the only information. So right now we're gonna start changing that information. For example, in base. So let's go ahead and do that. So all right, no wait, my bad. We said we're gonna modify the index HTML. So I'm gonna want to link obviously the the style sheet, and we're gonna need some type of font from, and I chose one that I liked. So I'm not gonna show you how to get the font. I'm just gonna show you how to work with it for now. Um, it's not difficult. Just go to Google's fonts, choose the one you like, copy the link. You come put this the link href, and you're good to go. All right. So let's go ahead and um, start working with it. I got too much stuff open right now. All right. So a few things about obviously SCSS and Sass in general is design. What type of design do you want? Well, we already had an idea of what it is that we're gonna build, right? I showed you previously the website that we're gonna build. But this time, I said, "Hey, you know what? Let's not do specifically that. Let's do the same concept, yeah, but let's change it up a little bit, just colors, and yeah, essentially we're just changing the colors. And we're gonna make it responsive also for mobile devices. So let's go ahead and do that. So I picked my colors right here. So I'm gonna show you. I made them into global variables. Um, There's actually a plugin called Emmet. Um, if I can find it, that'd be great. Oh my goodness. It's not even actually Emmet. My bad. It's not even Emmet. It's something else. But Emmet's actually pretty helpful too. Obviously, this is not it. Um, alright, whatever. Because essentially it would have like a big colorful bar just showing up, displaying the name and the color. And it looks great, to be honest. It really does. All right, so right now we saw the information over here of the body and for the HTML, and we're gonna go ahead and change that up right now. For example, this selects everything inside the HTML. So select everything before and after. So let's see if anything changed. So far, so good. So nothing changed. I just like to keep track of how things are flowing. All right, so nothing on the HTML so far. So we're gonna go ahead and say HTML, sizing, border bar. So a lot of these techniques, I want to say thank you to Mr. Schmetman. Definitely helped out in what I learned. The website that you saw before was actually done without Sass. So now we're gonna do it with some Sass and try to make a responsive. And so yeah, let's see margin. We don't want the margin, but let's go ahead and continue. Uh, so yeah, we're gonna set up. Uh, oh, okay. So we got the text over here, which is the one that I brought in. Um, it's right here. Actually. Node serve GP. You have to add the plus, which is right here. And if we don't have that, we can just use serve. So I say font size is the 62% because um, we want a font of 10 pixels, and regularly it's 16 pixels. 16 pixels. So we want 62% of the 16, which is 10 pixels. Yeah. So font family, text default, which is the color the my bad, which is the family that I picked from Google Fonts, and the background color is right here. It's a really dark color. It's not black, but it's just dark blue, just really dark. And it looks great, to be honest. Okay, so for some reason it's not really showing up, which is a little weird. We should start seeing some difference, but it's not happening, which I'm not sure why. Okay, I'm saving it. All right, let's see if it's getting written up. It's actually not getting written up. So what I'm gonna do is say CDO and Npm Start one more time, and we're gonna see what happens this time. Um, hopefully, hopefully it gets written. So nothing so far. That is strange. That is very strange. All right, there we go. There we go. So now you got the font size, font family, background, margin, padding, inherit, and all that stuff, all that good stuff. So if you get a problem like that, sometimes it's not even necessarily that you're writing it wrong. I discovered that although Sass is great, obviously not technology is not perfect. So what I would just do, I usually come to my imports, comment them out, save it, comment them back in, save it. Yeah, that tends to work for me. That's just enough for me to get things running. So honestly, I don't even worry about it too much. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, everything that we got it in one whole container. Um, we are gonna be using a grid, so we're gonna be grabbing the container, um, display grid, and we're gonna be saying grid template. What is it? Row. And we're gonna repeat three. Um, okay, and I'm literally just gonna do one huge uh, one huge column. I'm gonna show you. So for this case, I'm gonna need Firefox actually. Let's see where's that? Because for some other reason, other browsers don't really support um, Grid yet. They do support it, but not in the sense to develop with it. So it's a little bit of a bummer. So here we go. We got two content. Let's check it out. Oh, whoops. No. I meant to say inspect. And where's that? Grid. That's strange. Where's my grid? CSS grid. Not in use. That is strange. Maybe because it's not saved yet. It's saved. That's weird. Okay. It's bugging me out. But it should be. Hmm. Yeah, for some reason, it's not really popping up. But like I said, I'm gonna continue and go with the flow. All right. So off the bat, first thing we're gonna work after that is gonna be the header. We're gonna be working with the titles, all that information, right? So, all right. So we're also gonna display a grid inside. Well, see, I have multiple grids, but for some reason they're not showing up. I'm gonna put grid also contain. Did I miss container? Wait a sec. Wait a second. Where did I type that? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're doing it here in the container. It should be perfectly fine. Okay. So let's do that. Let's display a grid also with yeah, let me just make sure I didn't spell container. Okay. It seems to be correct. Um, and here we just got two elements. So I say grid template rows repeat twice and then the max count. Now let's see if it shows me. Oh my goodness. That's weird. I know. for sure that the header has got a grid. But for some reason, it says display block, yes, but I want to. All right, I'm trying to understand why it's not coming up. All right, sometimes what I like to do is just literally shoot it up again. So we're gonna run up the no grid. All right. All right. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna go into the typography and take the. I was trying something else. I just realized that the list style that it's gotta go in the header with the links because this is the parents. So inside the parent is where so those little dots that were here are gone. Bye bye. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and continue with the process of building the setter. Okay. So we got the typography done. We got the allies. So we're gonna go ahead and move actually into the content, which is good. We're gonna leave this here for now. Um, 1 second. So typography done. Um, I kind of want to set up the H3 already. It's gonna be we're gonna set up the color, font size, yeah, font weight, and we're gonna do a margin left um, of 2 rem. It's gonna have a margin on its left side of 2 rem. 2 rem refers to well over here when we set up our default size. We're working with this. Our default size 10 pixels, so 2 rem would be 20 pixels. We're working according to the size that we set up in the body. Okay. So again, go check out Mr. Schmetman on Udemy. He's gonna be Schmetman. Uh, he's gonna be a great professor, a designer, and everything. So yeah. So we got our typography done. So we're gonna save that and we're gonna close it. I don't know what happened here. Okay. So we're back to the header. Um, allies. We're possibly not gonna need it right now. So we're gonna continue with the content. So content, and inside the content we have the main, and we also have form. And so at this point, we're gonna be working with those two elements. So let's go check out content, and all right. So obviously, we're gonna display grid because um, honestly, grid is great. And there's different ways of setting up your grid. I just kind of I wanna show you different manners. Uh, like I said, hard coding right here. There's just too many ways. Okay, so hold on a second. Um, So it's kind of funny because I put list item, uh, list style of none content when I should have done that down here. List style none on the main, because this is gonna be the parent. This is gonna be the parent of all the list items they're gonna be adding. Um, yeah, let's see. So okay, cool. Let's continue. Uh, right. So the form itself is gonna have a background color just like the main, and we picked our color. So background color. Um, I believe we called it color element. I believe color element. I believe that's the name that we gave it. Let's check it out. Color element. Yeah. So well that didn't change anything. Let's go ahead, close header. We're gonna have background color form. Oh, that's right, because we don't have the form open. So since we have one item already waiting for us, we're gonna give that a background color. So boom, now the background, new contractor. Now these two have the same color. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. And let me see. Let me see the main. What else do we have? Um, Oh, so at this point, we're going to be working also with the items and the paragraph and the icons. So let's see. And item and icon, which is us modifying the scalable vector graphs. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So I know that the icons, I don't want them too big. I want them with the width of 2 rem and the height of 2 rem. But before I keep going with these edits, I want to go ahead first and finish off the form and the main. So those are like the two main factors of the page. So see, now they became smaller. Scalable vector graphs. Perfect. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep working with the form right now. So, okay. So we get the form. Uh, I want to give it a margin of and a border radius. I want to make it look a slightly modern but neat and kind of discreet. And inside the form, where we have some other elements, the modifiers at this point, the input, which is the form itself, um, the field, and the label. Cool. So we're gonna be editing each part of the form. So let's check out how the form looks right now. Somebody says new contract. This is how it looks. Because I gave it a margin. Remember? I'm gonna show you really quick. Let's just minimize this one. So I'm gonna take out the margin for the form. This is how it looks without the margin. But I want it to have a margin. Margin. I believe top bottom and left right if it's got two numbers. So let's check it out. Boom, boom. Looks great. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the body. So now it's beginning to have a shape, which is great, which is what we wanted. So let's go ahead and let's continue. Um, so at this point, the input, it's obviously the form itself. I'm gonna give it a margin. And since the form does not inherit the text, we're going to have to tell it specifically what text it needs. So the text is going to look different now. So the text changed right here. It's got a different font, the font that we gave it. And I believe it works also if we just say, no wait, text default, yeah. Hold on one second. Let me look at the base. The body has text default, so I'm gonna say inherit because that should work too. Inherit because it's just inheriting out of the body. And I just gave it, I believe it's top, right, bottom, and left. So I'm giving it more margin. This time the form has its margin. Before it was the the form content form which had a margin. Look, the form, which is essentially this thing right here, has margin. And now I'm saying the form itself, the actual form, this form right here, first name to cancel because it was over here in the beginning. Now move it to the side. So now it looks a little better, in my opinion. Okay. So now we're gonna do the same thing with label, uh, font family, color, and yeah. Oh, so this my bad. The input, which is for the form, should be enough for the text to work. So I shouldn't even need this. I'm gonna comment it out. I'm gonna see how it looks with that. So let's see how it looks really quick. This is how it looks. Uh, I just gave the label height, color, and my bad, font size, and weight. But we do not have the same font, I believe. It's just a little weird. And let me see. Oh wait, I actually did not even give it weight. Weight. Let's give it a font of 200. Let's see what happens. Well, I guess it's already absorbing. No, not the input, not the field itself. It's not. Doesn't have the font. So let's see if it works in the field. Oh, what just happened? I just need this. So you learn a lot through just experimenting. Let's see if it has the same. It looks like it has the same font now as the parents. That's good. Is it just me? Does it look different? Does that F look different? I'm gonna check out all the letters because I want to see if it actually makes a difference. Why I don't want to have that code. That code, yeah, it does make a difference, especially on the input. Okay, so input field is gonna keep it. Honestly, over here doesn't make a difference. So I'm gonna leave it like this, but let's continue. So the field, right? I want to make these over here, these lines reach all the way to the end. So what's happening here? All right, let me just go back to normal. All right, so let's do that. So what we came up with is this. This is what we're going to be using. We're going to go all the way to the width. But remember, we have two round margin thanks to the form. So we don't want it to reach to the end. So we're going to calculate what is the width of 100% after the two round margin and take off two margin. And a margin bottom of one rem, border radius of 10 pixels, height of 1.6 rem, and family font inherit, which is this field. Yeah, and a border of none. So let's see how it looks. Boom. I like that. I like that a lot. And we got the buttons down here, and we're not gonna worry about that just yet. So we're gonna continue. All right. So it seems like we're okay with the form. Now we're gonna start working with the where's the main? There we go. This is main. So down here we already have a. We need a. I actually did not make a grid here. Something interesting is that whatever comes, I could definitely add a grid. But let's see what happens when we don't. I want to see how it acts. Okay. So, all right. Same thing. This is our list, and this is our form. So now it's got even more shape. Cancel. Great. And our footer is down here. But we just gotta edit this stuff. So we're gonna end up editing the. This is the icons. All right. So let's move on. So the item, which is gonna be the link itself. Remember how we said sometimes I want to reach the block, the element, but not the modifier? Yeah, this is definitely one of those cases. So since it's a link, I don't want it to have text decoration, the purple color. I want it to have a margin right and left. I could just say margin. Oh no. Wait, yeah, this is right. So instead of having two margins, I could just say margin, which is top zero, uh, right one rem, bottom zero, and left two rem. And we can just comment this out. And let's see how it looks. Oh, that looks neat. I like that. Great. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and do um, paragraph, which is the details. Let's see how the details look. For example, Peter Parker. We click. We got the header. This is H3, and this is the paragraph. So that's weird. Why is it so tiny? So we're gonna go ahead and affect the paragraphs inside. So want to give a color, obviously color. Um, what just happened? Let's see how it looks now. Let's check out Peter Parker, and that looks better. Cool. So all projects, all contractors. Nice. All right. So let's continue. So now I want to play with the icons, and okay. So we want to give it a color, say fill, and I want to give it a border radius to give it like a type of a circular look, but not too much, I guess. And we're gonna move it just a little bit so it aligns better. Um, let's see how it looks now. So there you go. That's it. No padding, no margin. To me, it looks fine. That together. Let me see. All right, fine. Margin right. Give it like 3 pixels. Let's see. Okay. All right. That looks actually better. And okay, hold on. Now at this point we have the modifiers. We're gonna add a transition and the cursor. You're gonna be like, what's the transition for? Well, I'm gonna say hover. When we hover top of the icons, you'll see. Hover top of the list, turns green, to add, cancel, edit, orange, and if we delete it, red. But I don't want to delete it because it's the only one I got. Yeah. So let's continue. Uh, oh, I totally forgot to add some of these things up here too. Let's do it right now. So I gotta go back to my header. My header. Here it is. So same thing with the li. I gotta do a transition, and then we gotta do the hover. And when we hover over the links, it's gonna move up and it's gonna get bigger. And cursor naturally is pointer, so but just in case, I'm gonna explicitly say it also. All right, cool. So now it's got motion. All right, let's continue. So right now we gotta work with we're still in content. The item we're gonna actually do something with it. We're gonna say when we hover over it too, we're gonna change color. What happened there? Whoa, what just happened there? So I was trying to make it um, bigger when I hover over it. For some reason, I quite wasn't able to get it right, and I'm not sure what's that about, to be honest. All right, so let's see how it looks. Um, yeah, this is actually meant to be outside. Transition is actually not working. So I was thinking maybe up here. It's the parent, but not even. That is weird. I had it where we at? An item. See how it just does it too quick? Too quick? Like it changes color so quickly. I don't want that. Um, yeah. It's funny though. This was actually working previously. Watch how it doesn't transform. It would have changed size. That's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. Yeah. Check something really quick. We are still good. All right, let's continue. I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. This is sometimes how I learn. That it's obviously the code, so I do not want to leave it there. I'm not gonna leave what I don't need. At the same time, I know this could work a lot better. But all right, there's nothing I can do better right now. And this is how I learn. But it's just one thing right there. But it's all right. Okay. So far, it seems like we got everything working out just right. Contractor, yeah. Projects, yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. So now we got to work with the footer, and let's see. And so the footer is quite actually not as much. I do have a grid also. Um, so it's the branding, and then we go into the elements, which is copyright, and we can do a margin, color, subtitle, size, weight, and we align text. Let's see how it looks. If it wants to work, maybe not. That's weird. Let's see. Did I call it correctly? Yeah. That's. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if I can actually select it. To class. So um, yeah, copyright. Also, that's not working. I'm not able to get it. So let's go ahead and just branding. That's strange. Oh, I think I remember what I did. All right, hold up 1 second. Okay, that's a difference that I did. I forgot to add something. So we got a paragraph here in our index, and it doesn't have a class. So block element, and now boom, that looks way better. And yeah, that's essentially us using some Sass to create a simple application. But this is the tricky part. So we got to make it responsive for any mobile device. So we're gonna have to do something about that. I like to use the new Edge for for size revision. Honestly, I was using Google Chrome, but at times it was throwing off the pixels. I was using Brave browser. It was definitely throwing off the pixels. So far, out of all the browsers, so Firefox has got the grid, and Edge has got the correct pixel count in simulating a device. So let's just go ahead and see how it turns out this time. So let's try. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and inspect, and we're gonna have a size. So, alright. So this is essentially how it would look if if we went into a phone. If we went to the iPhone 6, 7, 8, this is what's gonna happen. But we don't want it to look like this. We want it to look better. So let's do something about it. All right. So I know we're gonna want to make the font smaller, and it definitely seems like 900 pixels seems like to be a good point to make our font smaller. So let's go ahead and let's try that. So we got to go back to base, and we got to create some breakpoints. Close footer. All right. So I know over here that. Hold on a second. Okay. So I want a breakpoint of medium and small and petite. So over here, these are the colors, and this is the font family. Let me see. Let me just make it a little more obvious. Um, Colors and font, and we also got breakpoints. And we go ahead and paste it. Okay. So 900 pixels divided by 16 equals 56.25 m. And we repeat the process. 16 pixels because it's the browser's default, and 900. I chose these breakpoints, but I can modify them right now if I don't like it. So yeah, I wanted 600 and then 500. And I can modify it, do the division, and then just get a different EM. So for right now, we're gonna go ahead and just make the HTML a lot smaller when we get a size of medium. We hit 900 pixels. So let's see if it actually works. So 900, boom, it gets smaller. Boom, boom. That's what happens. So 900 pixels, that's what happens. And it's good up until, well, 500. We can say 500. 500. Yeah. Yeah, the next point I want to say 500. What breaks though? Definitely. Wow. See, so the cool thing that we have one uh, huge um, column is that, and since we don't have much stuff on the sides, and it's just one list, um, it it does the size is one fraction, literally 1 over 1, one fraction of so whole. it's gonna squeeze, and whatever's in it is what has to break. So I'm looking over here just to remember where is that I added my breakpoints. Our base, we're good. We're good there. Um, I know that. Let's check the header. Definitely, let's check the header. Okay, cool. So on size medium also on links, I want to make this the space smaller. So let's go ahead and do that. So where are we in the header? Links. Here we go. Screen. There we go. And the grid gap, instead of being 3, is going to be 2. And then on petite, we have to change a little more. But let's see how it looks for now. So what size do we say? Medium. So 900. Let's look here. It's going to get smaller. Boom. You can't really tell as much. I'm going to change this to contractor. So the space looks better, to be honest, in my opinion. And title, because it's supposed to say Project Central. Oh, okay, that's why. Let's take a look at that. So instead of saying title, we need Project Central. Okay, so Project Central. And one more thing, instead of all, I'm just going to say contractors. And let's see. Boom. Yeah. Up until so at 500, I want something to happen. Um, I'm gonna change the way these look on 500. When we hit 500, yeah, let's do it. Header. Okay, so the columns are gonna change. We're gonna do one column, and we're gonna have a list. Yeah, boom. And I like that. Then Project Central breaks itself, and the text got smaller. So voila. And now we got a new contract there, and we can go ahead and edit whatever. We gotta fix the buttons. But yeah. Oh, I want to get rid of this black space on the sides because I want the form to expand. You know, so let's go ahead and do that. So our header is set. Um, but in that case, if if I want, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the header real quick again. Seems like we're good. Okay, let's check for now the content. I'm gonna make this smaller just so we have some more space to actually look what's happening. All right, so for the form, where's the format? So on size of medium, I want the rem on the sides to be, um, there we go. There we go. This is what I was talking about. And also, I want to do the same thing on main, which is gonna make the black spaces disappear. So let's see how it looks. So yeah, there we go. Boom. Or maybe should I just do that on? Because on 900, let's see, 100%. Okay. What do you think? The Project Central just breaks itself, so I like that. Let's see how it looks on the phones. Uh, I'm just testing different views and how it would look. And so far, it's pretty responsive. So, all right. So, what is it that we got to do now? Because honestly, I think we're good. Buttons. We got to do buttons. There we go. So, buttons. Okay. So I say BTN and BTN and form. Okay. So in there, I have some information that I want to give it. This is about it. Family, because it doesn't have a font, so I have to give it to it. The color, the font weight, some thick letters, background color, border none, text transform uppercase, padding, and for top right, uh, top bottom, left right, one run cursor pointer, border radius 5 pixels. Let's see how it looks now. Lovely, lovely, great, love it. Um, yeah. So I think. Oh, that's right. The problem is that the letters are still too big when this decreases in size. So that's not good. That's not good at all. I want to make that smaller. So I'm gonna say a 900. So go ahead and just also lower your size to half. New contractor. So it's there. Let's go with 100 and boom. It got smaller, and then it keeps getting smaller, and it just breaks. But yeah, that's it. We reached the limit. 260, 259 pixels, 57, whatever. That's its limit, and I'm cool with that. Let's see. Yeah, we can definitely create more margin there, but that's gonna be up to you. And yeah, let's make this smaller. Yeah. So we are set. So now we just gotta say, although not every browser supports um, uh, grid, I'm all out on grid now. It's definitely gonna be something that we use more and more often. I have high hopes for it. So now we just say npm run build and watch your CSS folder, and hopefully it should work. Missing build. Let me. Okay, got it. So build CSS. Keep your eyes over here on your CSS folder. What happened now? What happened? An output. We get an output. Oh, there we go. Front end. Let's try one more time. It should work. It's not. Okay. Well, we did what we had to do. Um, in the next video, right before we actually upload it to to Heroku, I'll tell you how we build our CSS. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and yeah, see you in the flip side. Catch you on the flip side. All right. So what I did at this point, I just went back to the code. Um, I stopped the server. I restarted the server. I changed the elements, saved it, put it back to what it was, saved it, saved it, and then my information just popped up over here on the side, which is interesting. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. We got a footer down here. Remember that the information and the two elements within the header. Yeah, so this is the header by itself, and this is just the body. Got three parts, but they all are minimum content. So whatever is the minimum, that's what's going to display. Okay, cool. So let's continue. So we got a background, and this time it's the color we chose. It's not black, or else it'd be matching this. But it's dark. It's dark. But I love the color. It's nice. Okay. So we both got our headers set up, which is good. Good. Um, so let's continue with the header. So yeah. So we're gonna need to access the links, specifically the links. Links. I didn't say header.links. I tried it for some reason and that wasn't working either when I was when I was trying to redo the BEM. So I just left it like that because it's still embedded inside header. So I thought, hey, why not? I'm just gonna leave it as is. So again, we're gonna make another grid, and that's a cool thing. We just grids can be inside another grid, and they're just very helpful. And it's easy to organize your items. So, so we're gonna make a column, and we're gonna make autofit. I could have said 3, and then min max 15 rem, and then the maximum content. I just left this autofit. It's just you can add on links in the future, and it would still work fine. It's a little bit of a future proof. If you put a specific number, you can have to edit that. But yeah, so sometimes we want to auto proof, future proof things. So that's just a good idea. So we're gonna go ahead and put those links in the middle. For example, get the links right there, contract to all projects. Yeah, all those links, see how they're separated now? Uh, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put them in the middle, and then we're gonna align the text so it looks even neater. So yeah, boom, right there. Perfect. Okay. So I wanted to say, look, 1 second. So see how we have header link? I wanted to say that. I wanted to say and link and then edit that specific element but for some reason it wasn't letting me. So I was like, whatever, I'm not. I'm gonna have to find a different method. So since it's an li embedded, and maybe it was me not doing uh, the BEM correctly. Uh, that's my opinion, but yeah. So what do we want to do with that li? Because it's still an li inside header. So what do we say? We say well, actually, hold on. Where is it? There we go. Uh, that's strange because I guess what I'm trying to remember is where did I modify it? Okay, got it. I left it as part of the the of a typography. So what happened here? Oh yeah, the numbers usually kind of mess up the a little bit. It didn't auto reload. That always bugs me. It does this little thing on the side, but it's still working, so I'm not too worried. Okay. So I made uh, the links part of my topography. Let's see the buttons out. So I had H1, which was the name that I gave to the header. I changed it actually. What did I change it to? Yeah. So this class, I mean, I could say header title and just put that title in in the header in here, but if we were thinking to reuse the type of title that we would put in typography, it would become a reusable element. So in this case, I'm just gonna say H1, for just header one. Yeah, quite simple. So H1, and then we edit. Also, the other ones, if we would have an H2 that we want to reuse, I would have done that name also. So now we have H3, I believe, which is the header 3. And in general, I'm just reusing these headers. These would be reusable elements. That's why I'm not putting them specific to one location. So yeah, so a good thing, a good idea is to have in mind is reusable elements. Yeah, and then the other one was what was the name of it? It was header link. That header link, of course. Of course, that would happen, and then modify it. So what do we want for our H1? Well, we want to give it a color. We want to give it a font size, align it, and give it a font weight. So boom. So H1. Now we take a look, and that's our title. Looks neat. I like it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do something with the links. We're gonna give them a list style so it doesn't have the dots. No text decoration so it doesn't have those lines in the bottom. We're gonna give a color, a font size, and a font weight. Boom. See, the font weight is just for how thick the letters are gonna be. So it's not supposed to have. Hey, it still has the little dots, which is weird. It shouldn't be having that. Um, okay, we'll deal with that in a bit. That's strange.